What's up, Sports-A-Delic? What's up? It's me. It's me. It's Reem. But tonight I'm Sports-A-Delic, right? Hey, listen, I'm doing a video because I'm tired of Dr. Umar. I'm just tired of him. I really am. I was inspired to do this video. Tanya McKenzie, PR. That's her handle. Got to go over to TikTok and check out her content. And Umar was once again stating information as a fact, but it's really his opinion. And you know how I am. Like if you say, Sports-A-Delic, I seen you driving Miss Daisy. You need to produce the footage of me driving Miss Daisy. Or hey, I saw you and him walking in the rain and you were holding hands. Okay, well, again, you're going to have to produce the evidence of me and him walking in the rain, holding hands. And I just don't know that this guy ever does this. And if it's true, his niece married what he calls a snow bunny. And so he's forgotten that charity starts where? That's right, at home. Come on over here in the studio. Let's talk about it. What it is, Sports-A-Delic, what it is, what it is, what it is. As you can see, going across your screen, Sports-A-Delic is also on the campaign trail. As I told you all before, Sports-A-Delic, it just means that we talk about sports and everything else. Funk and R&B, you put it together and you got something different. That's what I like to think that goes on here with my YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to be campaign heavy because very important to me what's at stake for this particular election. But I have some other videos about that, educating you guys on Project 2025. But as I told you in the intro, I was inspired to do this. Tanya McKenzie, PR. That's her TikTok handle. Go on over there, really, and seriously check her out. It's good information. Because once again, Dr. Umar was running his mouth because Steve Harvey, you know, and Rickey Smiley are riding hard for Kamala Harris, right? And he said, the only reason that they're doing that is because they were paid. This is also someone that he has fees for appearances and things. Why is it okay that he charged for his craft or his talent, his skills, but everybody else is just pandering? And he made the statement because I think he just says all of this stuff because he might, I don't know, he might be too lazy just to go get out and vote. My issue is he never does any homework. He never gets his act together. And just because someone says something that makes sense, sometimes you got to check yourself and say, what is going on with me that I'm listening to a fool and what he's saying makes sense? Now, that's really how I feel about it, because he's trying to open a school. I commend him for that. But you can catch a lot more bees, with the honey, right? And you need some of everybody when you're embarking on some groundbreaking stuff. I know he's on a mad mission to accomplish it, I guess, without the white dollar. Allegedly, he has over 900,000 books sold. Uh, and let's hope that the bulk of those monies are going towards the school. And I've talked to a lot of prominent people, and the consistent thing that's said about him is it's heavy on opinion, light on the facts, and negative energy. It's always like, I love my black people. I'm all about my black people, but you know, you married a snow bunny. And like I said, I mean, if the tabloids are true, his niece married, a snow bunny. The heart ultimately wants what the heart wants. And that should be a telltale sign to him that he might need to rethink his position on that, because he presents it as if there's something wrong with you. Uh, I date whoever you want, I don't care. Um, and he said something, and this is why I had to set the record straight, because I've heard this a lot coming from my uneducated voter brothers. Not saying that you're uneducated, but when it comes to voting, you are uneducated, because politics is split. You're not ever going to get everything that you want from the Republicans or from the Democrats. That's how you get to what is called bipartisan, because we have to compromise, right? And if I was making $400,000 a year and higher, I would benefit from Republican parties, right? But I'm not. So I have to look at things where I can get the most based on my convictions and what I believe in. Now, he says that uh, Kamala Harris hadn't done anything for Black people, and there's nothing in this election for Black people, right? Now, let's just go with the facts. When she was a senator, um, she did the First Step Act. That act was reducing mandatory minimum sentencing for non-violent drug offenses, which benefited Black people tremendously, because who is targeted the most? Black people. This is factual data, that's out there. We are profiled, the most. And when you have a mandatory minimum sentence, it doesn't need to start out at 10 years when it's a nonviolent offense. And that's an act that, Black people, have benefited from. When you start talking about who she sent to prison, you have to understand, as a district attorney or as an attorney general, she doesn't try every case. She assigns cases. So is there a chance? Absolutely. Is there a chance that an attorney, botched a case? It happens all the time. But why are we upset with Kamala for doing what prosecutors do? That's her job. And chances are, if you're not caught out there in the weeds too much, you don't have to deal with prosecutors. I've not ever dealt with a prosecutor where I'm facing some type of jail sentence because I've been out here foul. And I can't get mad at them if they're doing their job any more than you can get mad at, a defense attorney defending you. That's what they do. Yeah, sure. He may absolutely, the evidence looks like he absolutely molested, sexually assaulted a 6-year-old, and he's getting representation. That's that comes with the territory. We don't get to say that attorney that's representing the man or the woman accused of this heinous act, is a complete sellout and they're garbage because they're representing this scumbag. That's just opening your mind and being a cerebral thinker about what's going on. But back to, re- reduced, she reduced mandatory sentencing, which, like I said, African Americans benefited tremendously from that. Okay. She sponsored the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act, and this is real important because a lot of people didn't know this, but lynching in a lot of states wasn't a federal hate crime. But thanks to Kamala, when she was out there doing her thing in California, it absolutely became that. Okay. And here we go again. I mean, who gets lynched the most based on, let's just say, racial hate or any kind of hate, right? Okay. And so then she had what, the Justice and Police Act that she co-authored. It's a police reform bill to ban chokeholds and create a national database for police that are guilty of misconduct, and not allowing them to have qualified immunity. Um, Here we go again. When it comes to voter education, um, we're going to vote in November and we're going to vote her into the White House, right? But if we don't turn around and come back out and vote, because when you're being fought to death in the House and the Senate, it's very difficult to have some of your policies come to life, right? Happened with Obama in 2008. He set the world on fire, voted him in, and then next November, nobody came out and he got fought on everything. His accomplishments, based on the fight that he had to go through, are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Kamala was also tax credit benefit for low income families and middle class families, and lifting, meaning raising the livable income for lower class and middle class, those that are disproportionately affected by low income, right? Um, which is a vast amount of Black people. Okay. These are just the facts. Like, I'm not spewing out something, that we don't understand. And then the Rent Relief Act, and that was for families who spend more than 30% of their income on rent. Here we go again. That's a lot of Black people, because they don't just sit around and make policies and make acts. It's based on concrete research data. Okay. Um, and just as a tidbit, uh, Biden, Biden's record is what it is. He's voted against a lot of things when he was in the Senate, that wasn't the best in reference to us as Black people. Uh, but he also voted for some things that were. But you have to dig through the weeds and up your game and really know these policies, read the bill, and really understand what you're actually voting for. Because even in that bill, there might be 6 things that you absolutely positively love and 2 things that you absolutely hate. And you have to kind of say, well, I got to take these 6 things, But you wouldn't know that, because when you go to vote, you're just going to see something. I'll give you an example. Um, would you like to see courtesy officers in your child's school? Yes or no? Okay. Most parents that have children in school want their kids to be protected. And absolutely, our hearts go out. Here in Georgia, Winder, Georgia, our hearts are heavy. We had a 14-year-old to unleash at his school, killed 4 people, and another 9, was injured. And we're praying for the victim's family, everybody that's involved. And I'm also praying for the 14-year-old, because he's clearly lost, right? But you vote to have your kids protected by these courtesy officers. But everything in that bill was, well, we're going to charge, kids 13 to 17 as adults, and we're going to have mandatory minimum sentencing. And it's not until your child gets into serious, deep trouble, the 7 deadly sins, that most parents know that they voted for it. Because I've dealt with these parents and they're like, what is this? Where did this come from? This doesn't make any sense. And then I pull out the data. Well, in Georgia, 1994, you voted for this, because it's a good thing. The courtesy officers were in the school, but all the other stuff came along with that bill. So that's why I'm saying voter education. Now back to Kamala, vice president. She did the American Rescue Plan. You know, she did the oh my gosh, so much funding for the HBCUs, so much funding. She also the John Lewis, um, Voters Act for the people. Uh, because listen, don't fall for the black vote doesn't count. Why do you think that they're always trying to suppress the black vote? Because it counts. Has to just be your common sense. This has to just be, you know what? I'm not going to be a fool about this. If our vote didn't count, they would not be doing all the terrible, low down, evil, twisted things that is being done to try to make it more difficult for us to vote. Okay. We've had to fight for everything. Why do we have to protest in the streets, to get a hint of justice? And then when you talk about Kamala and what she's done, for black people, um, well, like I said, you got to kind of know the ins and outs and get in the weeds of, the policies, the bills, the acts to really understand, those type of things. Like, um, you don't think it's a big deal, but there's a lot of black people in particular that's been denied homeowner loans. You know why? Because of medical bills on their credit file. Well, thanks to old Joe Biden, creditors, they can no longer put, these medical bills on your credit file. You can't report that anymore. Um, Now, think about that. Now, if they took the time to specifically say, don't be putting these medical bills, on people's credit file, particularly people that look like me. It had to be something. They had to have looked at a lot of research and data and said, man, they really nailing these people to the cross with this thing right here. And so slip something, in there, because you can get a car loan, even if you've had repossessions, right? Because typically, you run into hard times, but most people are going to pay for their car, stuff like that. And so, but they scratch you off, deny you, because, hey, you scratching the bottom, you don't have health insurance, you got sick or whatever, and you have to go get you some intervention and you get hampered forever and a day. Um, it's true, if we fix poverty, if we fix having to scratch for everything, you're going to fix a whole lot of problems in the community. And crime will certainly, go down. I mean, it just will. Because a human being's natural instinct is to survive and by any means necessary. I'm not promoting crime. I'm not saying that it's right. Intelligently, I understand why it exists. There's a portion of people that are just thrown off, like they're just thrown off, and so they're going to do what thrown off people do. Most people are just good times, just trying to make it, just trying to make it, scratching and surviving. Okay. Now, I just wanted to jump in and give my 2 cents. Um, Dr. Umar is a negative gentleman, I think. What's underneath that negative energy? I don't know. I'm not going to try to speculate. But you can't keep giving backhanded compliments and backhanded apologies when you're presented with the facts. And so what if Steve Harvey, Rickey, Smiley, I don't care who it is. So what if they are paid to push, Kamala Harris has been the president of the United States. it's his choice. It's their choice in terms of who they want to vote for. And if they want to make that public, just as I have, then you do that. As you can see, Kamala, we fight 2024.com. We got a problem going on here in Georgia with voter suppression. The DNC has had to sue because there's three, elector deniers, which Donald Trump called out publicly by name when he came here for his rally. They've been up to no good, and we have to jump on it because the election may very well come down to Georgia. Lines are longer. We have less places to vote, and then now they're trying not to count the vote. And what me and my organization does, we feed people that are getting out to the polls. We provide rides to senior citizens, folding chairs, whatever they need to get to the polls and cast their vote. Because you have to understand with seniors, it's not about mailing in. They went through a lot. When you get to these 80, 90-year-olds, in some cases 100, it means so much to them, and it means so much to me. And it's the atmosphere. It's the grind of standing in line to cast your vote, okay? And I'd like to go to the website, purchase some of this outstanding gear. We're Mamba. We're making America believe again, because Donald Trump and his folks, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to have you no longer believe in all the things that you come accustomed to. I mean, you're born in the United States, okay? We're spoiled. No matter how rotten it may be here at times, it's still better. It's still better. That's why nobody's left, right? No matter who's president, we stay in, right? Okay. But I don't know, with this Project 2025, Trump get in there, I have to leave. I do. But we got some awesome gear. You know, um, we got the camo, the camo hats, Make America Believe Again, awesome hat. We have, you know, Harris and Walls. Like I said, Make America Believe Again. We got some awesome T-shirts. We got all kind of gear laying around over there, and this is one of my favorites. Donald said to my face. I absolutely love that. So let's get you guys. Like I said, get you over here to the website, because every dollar that you spend over there, just know that you are helping senior citizens in rural counties of Georgia get to the polls and be hydrated. You got to remember, a lot of people have diabetes, and those rural counties, they don't make a lot of money, and we just want to make sure that we set up a nice area, where they can grab some snacks, hydrate themselves while making it to the polls. Because it's a misdemeanor crime here if you walk up to a senior citizen and offer them a bottled water while they're actually standing in line to vote, if they are within 100 feet of entering just crazy suppression type stuff. So it affects everybody. Georgia, this election may come down to Georgia. So whatever state you're in, you're watching this video, please help us with our calls. It'll be greatly appreciated. And I'm going to say thank you in advance. So we're signing off for tonight. And Sports-A-Delic, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. And thank you so much for your support. Have a good night. Bye-bye.